Hi, I'm John Sauve, and this is Art and Design. Today, our guest is Sommer Realy. Sommer, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, John.
Sommer, what is your official title at the City of Ferndale?
I work with the Downtown Development Authority Department as the engagement manager.
And what does that job entail?
Uh, it entails quite a lot of different hats, but with the one I'm most proud of, and I think why you've invited me here today, is the public art program here in downtown Ferndale and Ferndale as a whole. I am quite honored to be able to manage that exhibit in our large collection.
So, what are some of the things that you've been doing with the public art in Ferndale?
Well, I would like to start by just revisiting the collection that we already have. I really am not the one responsible for making Ferndale a destination of public art and being able to walk the street and everywhere you look, you see another work of beautiful art, whether it's a mural or a sculpture. But I am responsible for about 3 years ago reimagining it and bringing back the attention that Ferndale is a lot more than just our businesses and our downtown area and city with parks and everything. We also love creative energy and we support the arts in every which way we can. So I am doing a large catalog of the art that is existing, in addition to working on getting grants to install future works of art.
Now, Sommer, I know you've been busy with the mural program that you started that initiative too, right?
I sure did. It started off with the You Belong Here mural program. And that was a large focus on basically DEI and making sure that everybody felt included, whether they were a first time muralist or an established muralist. We wanted to make sure that we could capture every single artist and medium and style art. So the first time it launched was in 2023, maybe 2022 is really when we started searching for the artists. And we received over 75 applications of concepts that spoke to them. We set out a theme, so you belong here, and we asked the artists what it was that means to them. And they submitted designs and artwork in association to that.
And now, how many works did you add?
And You Belong Here, it was a total of 6 murals, plus one artist who created these mixed media mirrors that are these beautiful heads where you, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can envision yourself in various different ways, red hair, short hair, and it really spoke to the You Belong Here. So total is 7 in our first year.
Now, Sommer, let's just take one mural and walk us through the process because people usually see the finished effort of putting a mural up, but they don't understand all the different details that go into any individual artwork that is applied to any wall, let alone the challenges of most walls. Can you walk us through like how you found the artist, how you
Yeah.
interacted, what you needed, what extra tools that you had to supply to the artist to get it completed? Just get into the nitty gritty a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. And one stands out most. Actually, there's quite a lot of challenges with the You Belong Here mural program, but it starts off by us announcing a call to art along with the theme that we're asking them to submit their concept in coordination with. But we also, at the same time, put out a call to the property owners and business owners to submit a portion of their wall that they would like to beautify with that same theme. So from there, we develop a committee, and the committee is usually about 6 to 8 individuals from all facets of the city here in Ferndale. And we review all of the art. We review all of the locations that are submitted. We, in order to keep it as fair and transparent as possible, there are criterias that are set, and you can see this all on our public art program website on downtown Ferndale. But ultimately, we go through a scoring process to identify who is rising to the top. From there, we begin the conversation and the matching up of the art to the actual property. Once the property and the artist meet and they agree on the concept that the committee has approved to be awarded, we begin installation. That is usually the hardest part because we're dealing with Michigan weather. So the biggest part of, I'm sorry, I've got some email little burpees going on here. It's
That's because
distracting
public
me.
art's important, Summer. Everyone's after you.
This is true. This is true. And, oftentimes a lot of the challenges are we only supply the artist a stipend to get started on their materials. And that stipend's $1,500. That comes out of their full awarded amount. And each mural maxes out at $10,000. And we pay $25 per square foot. So there's a lot of equations and math and compromise that takes place at the point of the property owner and the artist meeting and deciding they'd like to move forward with that installation. Then there is the preparation of the artwork. And the one that stands out most to me is actually Natural Patch on West Troy. They have quite an old building, and the back side of their building was quite torn. It's a brick building and had a lot of different various things still poking out of it from years and years of different businesses. So they prepared the wall. As being part of our public art program and the mural installation, it is up to that property owner to prepare the wall for the artist. And in addition to that, that particular artist was actually hired, her name's India Solomon, to refinish and refurbish the front of the store that faces 9 Mile, because it was a work of art in and of itself that was done over 20 years ago. So she was able to maximize the opportunity of providing her skills on the front of the building outside of our program.
Well, now that, and again, that's why I'm asking these detailed questions, because each individual location is unique unto itself. There's no right or wrong way to do it, but there's a way to be cognizant of all the different variables involved.
Yes.
We mentioned again that this is a DEI program, not a popular topic this week.
No.
And I'm proud to say that Ferndale still supports and still believes that because you're part of the community, you belong. And
Correct.
just like in the name. And so there's political challenges as well. Have you had to experience that in the past too?
Not as of date, but moving forward, we are all a little bit nervous. However, this is what I truly believe art is a gift to all of us, all of mankind across the nation, across the world. Art can bridge the gap of understanding what sensitive topics mean to certain people. And the DEI component, as much as it is our slogan, "You belong here," and that's how we relaunched the public art program, it really spoke to the individuals feeling welcome and secure in our community. Everyone is welcome in Ferndale. Everyone is and should be welcome everywhere in America. And art allows us to be able to explain and showcase that they do belong, no matter who you are and what you believe in. You have a place here in Ferndale, and you should have a place everywhere in America, to be quite honest.
Yeah. So when you get kicked out of the other club, there's always Ferndale.
You got it. And even if you,
it's only a matter of time.
Exactly. And I would like to just give a huge shout out to all of our property owners and business owners. Our public art program is a very small part of a very vast collection of individuals who support the creative energy and the reality that artists are business owners. They're entrepreneurs in and of themselves, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort and sacrifice to be able to dedicate your time and your energy into making the world a beautiful place. And that's what I pride myself in. Everything I can do to assist making this world a better place with beautification in some way, shape, or form, I'm going to be on board.
Well, and I'm going to do a little shameless promotion, but one of the best art retail spaces I know of is the Rust Belt Market. And I got to do a shout out to Chris, because to take that project on and make it the centerpiece of Ferndale, because it's literally the center of Ferndale,
It is.
that's a prime example of what that community embraces, which is a place for artists to show their wares. Chris taking the lead on stuff like that, as well as the community for buying into something like that. And that's one of 100 other locations in Ferndale that I could keep going with.
Yeah.
Ferndale, and the idea that you belong here, that's a theme that we really need right now. It's been the centerpiece of Ferndale for a long time, but in today's society, it's really important that we
Yeah.
have a place like Ferndale where you can be who you want to be,
Yeah.
because I want to be around people who can be who they are.
Agreed.
That was
I,
my political commentary right there, or social commentary.
and Chris and Tiffany, both of the Rust Belt Market, are really the heartbeat of our downtown. They're right there at the iconic 9 and Woodward intersection, and their energy and effort to support the smaller brick and mortars, the micro businesses who essentially oftentimes are those creators, are extraordinary. They just installed a new mural on the side of the building in partnership with one of their vendors from 248 Studio. And it literally is like a ball of sunshine when you start going down West 9 Mile. And that is just something that he does because he believes in the beauty of design and art as much as I would say you and I do, John.
Oh, I agree, and I love those guys, and it's a great
Yes.
place, and
Yes.
it's just the first step of walking down either 9 or Woodward to see
Yep.
everything that the city has to offer, which it
Yes.
does, and great restaurants as well. It's one of my favorite locations. So
Oh, well, thank
yeah.
you. I've been here for over 10 years now, actually working closely, if not directly, with the Downtown Development Authority. And I lived in Ferndale for 12 years. At the time of me moving into the community, I was a little lost. I wasn't living my best life, and I definitely wasn't following my own passion. I'm a creator myself. I don't put myself out there, but what brings me solace and peace is creating mixed media primarily. And I look at this community that I'm now a resident of, and I'm thinking, gosh, this art is so fragmented, but I feel it. There's a vortex and a pulse here that I have not felt any other place except for a few other places in Colorado. Loveland specifically is a downtown that I visited, and I'm like, yep, you can feel the energy in the air. You can feel it underneath your steps. So I'm quite honored and still kind of pinch myself that I am living this dream by going out on a limb, leaving my financial planning job and all of this money and security, and saying, let's see what the world is. And in doing so, I focus largely on creating space where people can feel safe through the avenue of art. And art can be so many different things, right? You have culinary, you have literature, you have theater, you have sculpture, and being able to bring us all together as one under one safe space is something I really, really pride myself in doing.
Well, while we're on the topic of your previous history with the arts, can you go through some of that?
Oh, well, it's a jagged story, really. I had the pleasure and honor of being taught by Donald Mendelsohn through OCC. And from there, I got sick. And I was not able to continue to attend school. And at that time, there wasn't anything like virtual meetings and you could attend school virtually. So I was healing. I was in a point of healing for about 4 years. And then through that process, I tried to apply to, and I did apply and get accepted to Wayne State's art department. However, I was in a wheelchair, and ADA compliance and the ease of accessibility wasn't something that was mm, really forth. It wasn't really there. Just bottom line is I couldn't get into the art building. And unless I had an actual individual who could shepherd me through it all and be the feet that I needed to be, at that time, my art education completely paused. But I still created at home. All of my gifts are usually handmade. And if not, they're purchased from a local artist. And then, gosh, it was about 7 years ago, 6 years ago now, I had the opportunity of working with a local artist, Adam Kaiser, and running Adam Art Gallery. And that's here in Ferndale, just outside of the downtown over by Hilton. They're unfortunately no longer, they didn't survive the pandemic. But it was at that time I was able to be a curator and really dive into the understanding of what it's like to be the artist, but also what it's like to make money as a gallery owner. And that was the one of the more challenging aspects that I've ever done. I met a wonderful group of individuals who are still my friends today. And from there, I was able to, and I was still working part-time with the DDA, and an opportunity to become an engagement manager for downtown Ferndale arose, and I was selected. I was awarded that job. And part of why I wanted to come on board as a full-time employee with a municipality was because I understand that there is a lot of funding out there on a state and federal level for beautification and to support the arts. And there's very few people who, like myself, are actively doing it for the cause of greater good, not greed. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because I truly believe that we all have a piece of this puzzle, and I do my best to advocate and find those pieces and identify those opportunities for each and every one who is willing to put themselves out there and their creative vision.
Now, Summer, I think number one, that's a great story, and
Thank,
it certainly sounds like you belong here.
thank you. I sure feel
There's
like
an
it.
underlying theme here.
Yes, yes, yes. And there you belong here is the absolute perfect. I'll just give a little shout out. One of our businesses, Not Sorry Goods, is a collective of mainly fashion and re-upcycled wares. But she has taken the You Belong Here and created a whole line of tote bags and sweatshirts. And it is just absolutely amazing to see how this simple 3-word slogan can empower businesses to keep moving forward. And that's just our first theme. Our theme last year, I think, was equally as good, and that was Ferndale in Bloom. And it was all about what does it mean when you hear Ferndale is in bloom. And it can be plants, and it can be birth, it can be growth, whatever it is that inspires those artists who submitted the concepts. We received about 50 on that one. And sadly, we didn't have grant funding. So we were only able to award 3 artists in 3 locations last year, but they're equally as impressive.
Sounds like Jay had a little hand in Bloom idea there.
Maybe just a little.
Yeah.
And it was also the first time that we expanded it outside of just murals. So rather than it being a 2-dimensional wall covering, we allowed for people and artists to submit in groups and give us their vision of functional art, whether it's a parklet or a bench, or actually it is at Western Market. It was our very first 3-dimensional installation of public art since this themed year came out by Lavina, and it is illuminated seed pods. So not only is there an actual mural piece on the wall, Above that are these unbelievably created seed pods that are illuminated with various colors, and they bounce off and play with the mural itself.
Well, and that being said, too, can you give us a quick update on what's the plan for this next year with all the different highlights that Ferndale does over the years? I mean, you've established yourself between Dream Cruise. You're the center of Dream Cruise. I mean, give us a couple of. This is the time for shameless promotion right now,
Oh,
Summer. Why
okay.
come to Ferndale?
Why come to Ferndale? Well, just to feel good about yourself, feel good about America, feel good about the people that you're walking by on the sidewalk. But my shameless plug right now is and it ties into our public art program. This year we are leaning into the month of March, and it's called Art March, where we are celebrating everything that it currently exists. We have the board and myself have not defined whether or not we're going to put a call out for a very specific theme. We are taking a pause to celebrate what is. I am a huge historical preservation individual, and I truly believe that protecting the integrity of where we came from or where something started is the key to success. So that's what this year is. Art March, month long, are celebrations of existing art and sculptures that were part of an Art Town exhibit. I think you might know one of those artists yourself, John, that is largely
Just
responsible.
remind it all. So,
No,
yeah,
no. It's
yeah.
Eurofost is a wonderful piece that got a new coat of paint just last year. And let me tell you the difference that's made. I've had people reach out and say, "When did that get installed?" Oh, over 10 years ago. Oh, I've never seen it before. And I'm like, well,
Hmm.
that's what a fresh coat of paint does on an existing beautiful work of art.
I
Uh,
should think about that before I leave the house.
yeah. Well, that's what I did this morning. So that's where we are at right now with the public art program. It is taking a pause. We will be doing public info sessions where we can hear from you in the community what it is you would like to see. Clearly, there's so many options and variables when it comes to public art, but what's really important is knowing what the community wants and what the public wants. I can sit here and try to guess and put together committees, and we can throw themes out there, but what we really want this year is to hear from you. What would you like to see? So there's going to be some community art center, so to speak, being popped up all throughout Ferndale the month of March that is going to allow people to share with us maybe their idea of a theme or maybe a location that they've always wanted to be able to look out their window and see a work of art. I'm really excited. Art March, artmarchferndale.com is the website.
And then throughout the year, there's significant events that have been going on forever. Can you touch on a couple of those too?
Well, the one, this is what got me as the groupie in downtown Ferndale, was Art Fair weekend. Funky Ferndale Art Fair has been taking place for over 27 years. It actually started in Geary Park outside of the downtown, but then moved to West 9 Mile. And that show is a juried art show. It is one of the most largely attended and collection of fine artists you can possibly find. And that's on West 9 Mile. Shortly after that started to take place, the DIY do-it-yourself street fair started on the opposite side of Woodward. So on the east side, west side being funky, east side being DIY. So now, after 17 years of these two events running together, we just call it Art Fair Weekend. And it's a 3-day weekend where you can see every type of art medium being showcased by entrepreneurs. Sometimes our businesses even get out there in the mix, and it gives them an opportunity to show a little bit of secret, hidden creativity that they have. In addition to that, it's really the Dream Cruise. I'm a huge Dream Cruise person. When that event launched 29 years ago, I had just graduated high school, and I have the fondest memories of just walking up to Woodward with my dad and looking at these vehicles and hearing about how each one of those cars strikes a memory with someone. And it's Dream Cruise is primarily based of those who were cruising in the 50s, and I love Woodward Avenue as well. It's a unique highway within our country. It was one of the very first, if not the first, paved highway we have. So it's not just celebrating the automotive integrity of design and how far vehicles have come or how great they were celebrated in the 50s, because everybody got in their car like it was a work of art and cruised around Woodward, but it celebrates Woodward as a whole. And that's one of the reasons why, and I'm just going to plug you, John, the artwork in Ferndale and the center median of Woodward by yourself as well as Kevin Bowen are two of the most extraordinary compliments to what it is, as far as I'm concerned, what it is the Motor City is about. Ferndale is like the gateway to Detroit. And the one that Kevin Bowen did, Time Waits for No One at Marshall and Woodward, is iconic. It's timeless. And so is your Man in the City, which I don't know if it's appropriate for me to say, but I would like to think all of your little men in the city are a birth from the one that's in the center median of Woodward, because it's kind of like a big tunnel of babies coming out. Sorry.
All right, Summer. This interview is taking a turn. I'm so glad you came on the show today. Oh, I got to put a plug in. Best Pride Fest.
Ferndale. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's another good weekend. So
absolutely, we have
got to plug everything.
Every month there is an event. Our newest one is called Cinco de Mayo. And that happens on the east side of Woodward, and it is tremendous. It is one of the best celebrations of Latino Mexican heritage that I've had the honor of visiting and attending. So, we just launched, the City of Ferndale just launched a Facebook event page. Our special events director is going to be getting out there in the social media world and helping all of our events with promotion this year in a way that we've never done before. So that's pretty cool.
What's the page for that?
Ferndale Special Events.
Makes it easy. Summer, thanks so much for coming on the Art and Design Show today. I appreciate everything, and we're going to have to check back with updates.
All right. Thank you, John. You have a great day.
Thank you.